Alex, what's up, man? So, today's in Sweden.
Yeah.
To start, just make a brief intro for those that don't know you. Where do you study? What team do you represent? Where are you from?
All right. My name is Alexander Anderson. My in-game name is Alex. I go to Fisher College and I play for their Counter-Strike team there. And right now I'm back in Sweden. I've been home for 2 days after the semester ended, and I'm going back there for another couple of semesters to finish my degree and also play competitive at the exact same time.
Amazing. What are you studying
I'm
in
doing it's interesting because I did information technology, which is kind of computer science, but I actually swapped major recently to management major, and now IT is just like a extra thing. I
Okay.
don't know what they call
What
it. Minor.
what made you made the change from computer science to like management? It's like
Yeah,
complete
it's
opposite.
very yeah. I don't know. I think it was because in the first semester I had one of the social science classes, which I found super interesting. And then I
Mhm.
saw that they had a class for leadership and ethics, which I thought, as an IGL on my team, could be a super good thing to do. And when I wanted to take that class, I needed to take a management class as well. And both my teachers in those classes have been super good, and I really found an interest in it because I could every time in class when we would have discussions, I could always relate back to my own esports teams and my own experience with team sports in Sweden. So I think it was more natural for me, and I found it much more interesting because it's something I do actively almost every single day, right? While computer science was something completely foreign to me, and it's something that if I don't make it in esports and I do finish my degree, that's when I have to start actually doing something with computer science, which I wasn't really able to, how do you say it, like couldn't identify myself being in that spot and having that as an occupation. I felt like management was much more closely related to me.
Yeah, and something that you can apply on a daily basis because, like, you're also a team leader in the
Yeah,
CS team. Can you talk a bit about that and what concepts that you learn in class
yeah,
to you apply on a daily basis?
for sure. I mean, one of the most hardest things I think in esports in a college team, or I
Mhm.
mean, if you look at esports, when you're in a team that wants to become a professional team, it's quite easy to just say that okay, esports is number one, and then everything else comes after, right? And it's easy to make everyone agree on that, and everyone understands we need to go all the way. But when you're on a college team, that's not always like instantly like expected from everyone. Like I've had many talks with my team where we've all kind of spoken about how we look at the game and like how we look at how much do we actually want to become the best we can. And like in a spot like in a college team, sometimes you need to understand that not everyone will look at the game the exact same way. And some people they've already gone super far in esports and they're doing college now to keep playing something they love, but they want to maybe focus more on the education or the actual experience of being. If, for example, in my team, right, we're in Boston, we meet lots of new people, a big, really cool city. Like, not everyone wants to be at home and play Counter Strike all day, but so that's something that's interesting. And for my classes, they basically teach me like different ways to inspire people, but also a lot about how to resolve conflicts, which to me was probably the most interesting because as as we had with or as every esports team have, you always have conflicts, right? Then you have either the smallest issue about something in the game, or you have big issues with someone on the team not wanting to play with someone else, and you really need to learn how to deal with that. And when you just play esports, it's hard to learn how actual companies or actually business leaders would do all that. And by taking these classes, I've been able to at least snap up on some of it. And I've also asked my teachers many things like, I have this issue in my esports team, and then they say like, "Oh, but you can just bring up a player off the bench," and then I explain, "Yeah, but my team doesn't have any extra people, right? So I need to find some other option."
Okay, interesting. Noted.
Yeah.
No? But how do you inspire, or like what occasions did you have that? What did you apply to like inspire like
I mean,
your team?
I think for our team, it was mostly
Yeah.
about learning what every single player on the team, what makes them happy and makes them
Mhm.
want to play, right? Where I won't say any names here, but some people can already figure out who's who in my team. But I have some people in my team where they found happiness in just playing the game. They did not get inspired by having team talks or anything. Like they just want to play the game and they enjoy the game all the way, right? And then you have some other people who they need to be reassured often to like the thing you did here was super good, and like some people they will slack a lot more or they will play not as good if you take up their mistakes mid game. Like that could take the game completely off. So just about, or at least in my case, was talking to everyone and understanding like what do they need, and then I also asked everyone what can I do to make you want to play more and do better, right? Which is also interesting because I don't think that never comes up from a natural discussion otherwise. Like I've never in sports had one of my main captains or anything ask me like what can I do for you. They just look at it as some big objective and like I need to hold this team together and lead. But instead I was able to ask them and actually find out like what does everyone want on the team.
Dude, like what you just mentioned, like, and the questions you ask the players, like, not even my head coach in college in tennis, like, asked me those questions, and I now apply it to the team. But like in college, like, first of all, I wasn't even conscious about those questions, and the head coach didn't ask me that. So like, you doing that, man, like they should be, very proud and lucky to have you. So amazing, man. And regarding the conflicts, how do you guys manage them? Is it, and when they arise, is it because of practice schedules, or when do those conflicts arise, and how do you fix them,
I
the ones
mean,
that you can tell?
yeah, I mean, I won't go into an example, but I will explain
Okay.
kind of how the setup is, and I think everyone would understand. But it's like
Hmm.
you have classes from 9:45 to 4 p.m., and then you have practice at 5 p.m. You don't go up early to eat. You just go to your class, and then you eat before you play, and then you play, and you haven't prepared what you need, and then you do that 6 days a week. When everyone else who is on campus, who they're not on a team, or they're on a team that they don't practice, then we just go back to back and we play and we play and we play. And then when we don't manage to win all of our matches, or we go against a team we think we should beat easily and we don't win, like that's when frustrations will open up because everyone puts in so much time. The stress factor is super high, and it's I think it's more about combining everything that makes it hard for people. Because if you have an actual esports team, as I like to say it, like if you're not in college, you might have an extra job or something, but you have a lot of spare time. Most of those things will never happen, and you mostly just get angry in a team if you're with a team or if you're on a team with someone where you know that okay, this player I don't like, I'm gonna get them off the team. But here in college, it's more you need to understand that you will be with these people all the time, no matter what you think or feel. Like you can't exit the space where some people in esports, if they're on a team and they don't like two of the people, they can just instantly get off the team and get something new. But here you need to really understand like everyone needs to understand each other on a human level and not only as an esports teammate or something. It's everyone is going through the exact same thing. Everyone has to go to school. Maybe some people hit the gym. Maybe you have a girlfriend. Like if you combine all of that, I think everyone I know at least would probably get stressed out and conflicts would arise.
Yeah, super interesting, because like you guys are for like at least the 4 years of the bachelor, so you have to confront and find a solution, and talk about it, so yeah, that's that's pretty amazing. And do you all hit the gym, or is it just you?
Some of
From
us
you.
do.
Okay.
I mean, I think from this team we had this semester, 4 out of 5 did, and then at
Okay.
least 2 or 3 of us did it more often than the rest, like at least 4 or 5 times. And it's also
Mhm.
super good, I think, because when I went to the gym with my teammate Korn, we were able to like switch off from school, switch off from the game, and just speak about anything that we want, and we can just focus on the gym. Or you can also go in the gym and we can speak about this like team stuff, and we're not like around everyone that's at school or everyone is on our team. We can just get out a bit, get into our own environment, and we can kind of, or at least in my head, it was my meditation to just get out from everything else where I'm at like all the time at my in my esports arena at my PC, right?
Mhm. Yeah. And would you say you guys are the best Collegiate esport team in NA?
I mean, in Counter Strike, yes, it's kind of
Mhm.
hard with the other games because you have like Overwatch, right, where they have like second pro league, like the one that's right below it. That is the college scene,
Yeah.
which I feel like it's hard to compare that because I mean, if you would have the same in Counter Strike, the level of teams would be up there, right? So I don't think we're the best esports team, but we are for sure the best Counter Strike team, and we're also one of the better teams out there. But it's hard to compare with the other games. It's like comparing LeBron to Cristiano, right? Like they're both good,
Yeah.
but you can't compare who's
Yeah.
best.
What I meant was in Counter Strike,
Yeah,
not like the
of
program
course.
itself, but
Yeah,
like the
yeah, yeah.
team. Okay. Yeah.
No,
Okay.
we
Yeah.
are
Yeah,
by
because you
far.
smashed it, and I saw the
Yeah,
results on X, and I was like, okay.
yeah. We had a
So you're
close
going
map.
hard.
We had a close map one on the LAN playoffs, but that was also with our fifth that's no longer on our team. So we haven't practiced with him at all, and we've had like a really hard schedule all semester long, but we still managed to pull off the final with ease. So I don't think there's going to be any other college CS teams that's going to be able to go up against us because how I feel right now is if I would look at our team and I would want to go to college in the States, I would want to be on our team. I would never want to go to some other school because then they know that they need to have two or three more at least to even be able to compete with us from
Mhm.
EU, that is.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, you guys being at the top, and well, being at the top, like, and the second is not that it's a tight. Like, you guys are at the top. Like, what is still like one lesson that you learned this year? It it
Um,
can be in general or like on the competitive side.
yeah, it's interesting because I've had a kind of hard semester now
Hmm.
before I came back home. But I think the main thing is you can't always make everyone happy, and you can't always explain your own actions and however you act in your life and what you do. You can't always make everyone happy and happy with you. Like at some point, you need to understand that all that matters is what you do with your own life. And if you're gonna do something good with that and make other people happy, like sure. But for us that do esports, at the end of the day, we're just out there to do it for our own, right? We wanna become the best. We wanna. Some people they want to become rich. Some people they just want to be like the best at the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, focusing more on yourself and understanding that you can't please everyone.
If you prioritize yourself, you can serve better. Okay,
Yeah,
that's a fact. So very good lesson learned. That's for sure. And for next year, what are your objectives, both academically, competitively, on a personal level?
yeah. That's actually interesting because I'm gonna bring this up on my second screen because I did a list before I
There you
started
go. There you go. Come
this
on.
semester. Yeah. So I had the gym. I had a goal. I had a goal with CS. I had a goal with my GPA. So
Okay,
with
come on,
with
Jim.
with with the gym, I wanted to go from 240 to 225. I only made it to 230, so I still lost 10 pounds, which I think I never made it, but it was almost there, right?
We have to talk with the cafeteria of Fisher College, okay,
Yeah,
to change the meal
they-
plans.
meal
So
plans for
we
me.
can.
And then for CS, I said I wanted us to reach top 60 in the world. Our peak was top 61, so we were almost there again. But again, I think that's also fine. GPA, I said 3.8, but this semester was not my academic semester. That's all I'll say. But I passed all my classes, so I'm good. Next semester maybe I will focus a bit more on school. But for me, this semester, esports was all it was about.
Hmm. Is
But
there a
yeah,
way that you can do to like, I don't know, like have a balance, or there's no balance? It's
no, there's
one or the
balance. I
other.
mean, the other semesters I've done super good as well. It's just kind of more of the mental space where when you when you're in college, like either you care about your GPA or you're going with the mindset I'm just gonna
Hmm.
pass it, right? It's like I saw the other day, like some people who were A plus people P4, but now they're more in the mentality of I'm just gonna have a C plus at least so I can go to the next semester, right? So I think you can achieve everything, and esports is maybe the most hard one because in the end of the day, school is kind of easy if you know what you're doing and you're gonna say you need to do your assignments and then you need to prepare for your exam. Like I've never met anyone that prepares for exams and does their assignments that then do super bad. Like if you do your work, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna have good GPAs. But esports, on the other hand, is much harder because you need to understand what you need to do to get better, which is impossible almost. Because
Hmm.
in your own head, it's hard to find your own um, mistakes. At least in my own case in esports, because you always do something in the game because you believe it's the smart thing, and you can't understand that unless you have other people that can help you.
Who do you go to for analysis, for vault
Um,
review, to have a second thought? You
yeah,
know.
I mean we didn't have a coach this semester. We're looking to get one for next semester, which is going to help out. But it's also hard to get a coach that's on our level to do it without salary, right? Because if we would have our team not being in college and could play much more, like we would have salary to play. Maybe not the best one ever, but so it's hard to get a coach that's on the same skill level as me. But what I did this semester was I talked to my old coach in Sweden, and we looked over a demo, and then I hit up my other coach, just texting him like, "What's do you remember like the main thing that I did that was like super good and stuff?" And then I just like look at the demos with the actual people on my team, right? So we all agree on like what do we think is a smart thing and what do we think is a not so smart thing and so on. So mostly I look for second look within my own team, and then hopefully next semester a coach.
Okay, amazing. Or maybe for your masters. You never
Yeah,
know.
maybe.
Yeah.
There's also the possibility of me becoming a coach. You never know.
Yeah, yeah. Also, we have your number one fan, Thor. He's on Twitch. He said
Yes.
he sent a comment among my goat Alex.
Yeah. Thor, I miss him. It's gonna be fun when he comes next semester. He
Yeah.
came out to Vegas when we had a off esports event there, and we got to
Hmm.
spend some time with him, even though he won't be here for next semester. So that was super fun to like get a first sight on him and hang out with him. And I recognize a lot from how he behaves and how he acts to my old teammate as well. So I instantly was able to click with him good and talk to him. So
Yeah,
it's
that's
gonna be fun.
amazing. That's amazing. And also, like end of September, we might be going to Iceland for
Oh
an
yeah.
event that the RISI, like the Icelandic Esports Federation, are doing. So we might go
Ah.
there.
That's
So
gonna be
yeah,
sad because that's like right after we go to Boston again for school. Otherwise, I think he would come out to see you.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, but for sure, I'm gonna still follow. I mean, I follow you guys every day. You know, I see the news, and I mean, you guys are gonna you guys are having a great time. Let's say that.
Yes, sir.
So, what what would be some tips that you would tell, aspiring CS players, those that are in the in the grassroots scene that want to aspire to potentially, uh, go to the Collegiate esports in NA? What would be some tips?
I mean, I think it's really up to every single one of them. Like I always look at my own team as a good example, where like some people they don't feel like they wanna push all the way and actually become like super good at the game. Like they're okay with playing in the states, and we can beat all of these college teams, but then they don't have any more ambitions after that, esports wise, which is fine. Whereas me and maybe Thor, who was in the chat, we are thinking more like we are gonna be here at college as a stepping stone, just to like do our uh, bachelors while we can also compete and play esports for like much time. So it's really hard to give advice. I just think if you're gonna do something like this, because it's still a huge thing to do out of like nothingness, right? You need to make sure that you know what your goals is, both with esports and with the academics itself.
What profile student player would you recommend in the collegiate
You mean
scene?
like
Who
you
would you
mean I could
recommend it
pick some?
to?
Yeah, I mean I would. Do you mean like who they could look up to in esports? How
Yeah,
do you
no,
mean?
like for example, those that are thinking
Yeah.
about that are competing in CS, okay, or maybe gamers like why NA? You know,
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay.
what made you go to NA?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I mean, first and foremost, I don't think there's many college degrees or university in Europe that has this. You would know, I think, out of everyone I know. But yeah, I think like both EU they don't offer it, and then I mean, if you could go to college in the States, it's many people when they've been younger, they've been thinking in their own heads, right? Like that would be a super cool experience, right? So I mean,
Mhm.
I don't know. It's hard. I just think everyone who wants to go here, they just need to first have a good idea of what you actually want to get out of it, but also be ambitious with it. Like many people who make the jump to college, Counter Strike, usually they have done something before as well, but that doesn't mean that you need to be super good before you come, right? Like let's say we would get someone new on our team, and he's not like super good at the game. He would sit next to five people that are super good at the game every single day, and he could learn super much from that. And if he's not on the main team, maybe he would be in this like the B team. And if he can't make the B team, that means he doesn't have to practice every day, but he can still be there and learn from everyone else that's there. So you don't have to be the best to come and compete in college.
Would you say college in NA, the scene can be a path to pro with how the current scene in NA is, or is it like a transition? Like I've done my max in my career, it's a transition now. I'm gonna leverage my talent to get a degree and get money scholarship for it. What is your take on that? Is it both? Is it one of them?
I think it's really hard because I think there are players that make it all the way. There's not many at
Mhm.
all. But then again, if you look at everyone who plays amateur CS or semi-pro, how many of those people actually make it? Like it's still the same amount, right? Like it's
Yeah.
not many people will make it. So if you go to college or not, it's not gonna matter really. But it's a good way, as I said before, right? Like if you go to college and you're gonna sit next to a super good team, like you can pick up so much from that compared to if you're just at home, you have your like job, and then you go home and play matches with your friends, right? Like that's not gonna get you that much in
Yeah. Yeah.
comparison.
Yeah, and especially in a video game like CS, that it's not like other video games that being pro is not that competitive. I don't know how to frame it, but like CS, the pro scene is like massive
Yeah,
compared to other video games. So
yeah,
so,
it's
so,
elite.
so yeah, 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 and it's generational.
Yeah,
That many video games don't have that.
yeah.
So yeah, amazing. And before we wrap up, is there anything that we missed that you would like to mention or talk about?
Um, I don't think so, but I would also like to just say, as I've said now a couple of times, but if you go to college for CS or any esport, like you're not making a long-term commitment where you need to do all of your semesters instantly. Like if you want to go to wherever you wish, right? You go there for 2 semesters and then you feel like, right, my esports level is so high now, so I could stop this and go like all the way. You can go back home. You can do an effort for half a year. If you mess that up, right back to like college. So it doesn't have to be such a large leap, and it also doesn't need to be all or nothing at all times. And also, why I speak about this is because our team, who made it to top 61, we had half of our team who they were like, we don't really want to go all the way. Like, of course, if they could, everyone would, but we were kind of speaking in a more deeper like talk where like, do we actually want to do enough where we can make it? Like, are we prepared to throw everything out and just go? And even though we don't have everyone on the same mentality, we were still able to have, as long as everyone understands each other and everyone knows how much people want it, then that will everything else will make so much more sense. Like if you are in a match and your teammate plays super bad, and then he gets off the game after and he doesn't like super grind for hours, and he's also said like he doesn't want to go all the way, like then you understand, then you won't get angry at him and feel like he should put in so much more extra because he played super bad, right? But as long
Mhm.
as you understand your teammates in college or in any other esports team, life is going to be so much easier for everyone who is involved.
Communication.
Yeah,
Amazing. Alex, a pleasure having you. I think the last talk we had was like 2 years ago or
yeah,
three, no,
two, I think.
two, 2 years ago, man. Amazing always to have you. And
Yes, sir.
it was a pleasure, man.
Thank you.
I'll see you in the next one.